What makes the Tehuelche distinct from the Selknam? Imagine standing in the wilds of southern South America and seeing two groups that look similar but are actually very different. The Tehuelche and the Selknam are two of those groups, each with their own story. The Tehuelche lived mainly on the mainland of Patagonia, stretching from the Rio Negro River to the Strait of Magellan. They roamed the open grasslands and steppe, making their homes on land. The Selknam, on the other hand, called the island of Tierra del Fuego their home. They settled in the colder, forested parts of the island, which is separated from the mainland by the Strait of Magellan. The origins of these peoples also tell us a lot. The Tehuelche have been in Patagonia for thousands of years, with archaeological finds showing they arrived after the last ice age. They adapted to the wide, open plains, where hunting large animals like guanacos was their main activity. The Selknam are believed to have come from the mainland but crossed over to Tierra del Fuego by canoe. They developed a culture suited to the harsh, cold environment of the island, which was very different from the open plains. Their lifestyles reflected these environments. The Tehuelche were nomadic hunters on land, tall and strong, which helped them survive the cold winds and open spaces. They hunted mainly guanacos and other big game, and they did not use canoes because they moved across the land. The Selknam also moved around a lot but focused on hunting animals like guanacos and sometimes fishing during low tides. Despite the cold, they wore minimal clothing, relying on body paint and rituals to stay warm and protected. Culturally, both groups had rich traditions, but they expressed them differently. The Tehuelche created rock art and had oral stories that connected them to their land and animals. They shared cultural traits with other northern Patagonian groups. The Selknam had elaborate spiritual ceremonies called the Hain, which involved body painting and masked dances. These rituals taught young men about their roles and traditions. Their art often included symbolic body paintings and rock carvings, which held deep meanings. Physically, both groups were strong and sturdy. The Tehuelche were known for their exceptional height, which led early explorers to call them the Patagonian giants. The Selknam men were muscular and broad-shouldered, built for hunting in cold weather. Women in both groups were shorter and focused on domestic tasks and caring for children. Sadly, both peoples faced terrible hardships after Europeans arrived. The Selknam population was almost wiped out by violence and disease in the early 1900s. The Tehuelche also suffered displacement and loss of their culture, but many still keep their traditions alive today. Their languages, stories, and ways of life show how diverse and adaptable these groups were. Understanding these differences helps us see how each group shaped their world and survived in tough environments. It also reminds us of the rich history of indigenous peoples in Patagonia, each with their own unique way of living and connecting to the land. The Tehuelche and the Selknam are two stories of resilience and adaptation in South America's ancient past.